Well, the lower Australian dollar is encouraging more international visitors to our shores, and once they're here, they're spending record amounts of money.
SBS Finance editor Ricardo Goncalves joins us now. Ricardo, just how big are those numbers?
Yeah, Anton, government agency Tourism Research Australia put out the report. So let's go to the arrivals board for the results. It's like a game show. Survey says 6.5 million visitors into Australia in the 12 months to March, and that is an 8% increase. More impressive, they spent a record $32.5 billion, up 10%. So, if you're a business owner, how can you benefit? Even in the afternoon shadow, Sydney glistens. But it's not just her beauty attracting international visitors, many of which then fly out to other parts of the country.
We've had some major event traffic in the first part of the year, the Cricket World Cup, the Asian Cup, but we've also had a phenomenal Chinese New Year.
Well, most came from New Zealand. Those from India saw the largest increase by percentage change. But Chinese visitors are making the biggest impact, with spending growing from $1.5 billion 10 years ago to almost $6.5 billion today. China now accounts for 20% of all trip spend by international visitors. While most international visitors to Australia are here on holiday or are visiting family and friends, business travellers are important because they're increasingly spending more money.
The $3.5 billion, that was a 7% increase.
They're also supporting vital infrastructure like Sydney's International Convention Centre, currently under construction.
A lot of these events are, incentive groups, they're meeting groups that go in to use a lot of our 4- and 5-star product.
These incentive groups are being sent by global corporations rewarding their top achievers.
They are shopping, they are eating in our restaurants and they are visiting our attractions.
They're also demanding unique offerings.
Yeah, they want an immersive experience in our Indigenous culture. They are really inquisitive as to where our heritage comes from.
The advice for businesses looking to benefit from Chinese tourists is to have
Mandarin-speaking staff, free Wi-Fi to get them through the door, offer China Union Pay, it's the bank card for the Chinese, and be savvy with your pricing because this clientele know the difference between your pricing and the internet.
A weaker Australian dollar is also driving the tourism industry down about 1/3 against both China's renminbi and US dollar since their 2011 peaks.
The US is likely to raise interest rates, so global investors want to get access to the US dollar.
And that's likely to continue to force the Australian dollar lower. OK, let's take a look at the Australian share market now, which enjoyed its best day in a fortnight. By the close, the 200 rose 0.8% or 45 points. Resource stocks did particularly well today, especially the smaller energy players like Paladin and Santos. 10 was the worst of the 200. The banks and retailers did well. In Japan, the Nikkei added just over 1%. Shares on Wall Street rose as Fed Chair Janet Yellen hinted at higher official US interest rates soon. The Australian dollar is a little weaker against the US, buying 73.1 US cents as Australia's terms of trade fell another 6% in the last quarter. And on the commodity markets, gold is down while oil is up. And if you're keeping an eye on your superannuation, bad news for the month of June. Morningstar says all funds recorded negative returns, which means for the last financial year, the median growth fund saw a 9.9% increase.